My name is Zenner-Dolan. I'm 58 years old. Here, how about if we do this? And I have young onset Parkinson's disease. My personal mission in fighting Parkinson's is to be in the best physical, mental, and emotional shape I can possibly be so that I'm a candidate for a medical breakthrough when it comes. This mission is how I stay focused on bending the curve of this insidious disease. Thank you, Klaus Romero, Kristen Swingle, and Diane Stevenson for inviting me tonight to share my story. I'm excited to be here. And I do tend to tremor a little bit more when I'm really happy. Long before my diagnosis on September 5th, 2018, I began experiencing symptoms associated with the prodromal phase of Parkinson's disease. Phantom odors, constipation, and poor sleep started about 10 years prior to diagnosis. Added to that list, I began noticing anxiety, a twitch in my right hand, a tremor in my lower calf, and difficulty with tasks like brushing my teeth and handwriting. 3 years before my diagnosis, as these symptoms were all worsening, I developed painful rigidity and leg cramps. It was my acupuncturist, who I'd been seeing for 5 years to treat all these crazy symptoms, who urged me to seek a neurological evaluation. The diagnosis was a shock. The neurologist observed rigidity, tremors, including a tongue tremor, and lack of an arm swing. I had assumed I had essential tremor, not Parkinson's, which I wrongly labeled as a syndrome that only old men faced. This revelation marked the beginning of my proactive approach to managing my disease. I explored clinical trials, attended meetups, and engaged in various exercises like rock-steady boxing, Pilates, spin classes, yoga, and hiking. Despite my best efforts, progressive symptoms forced me to leave my job of 30 years. As a single mom of 3, this was a significant adjustment. However, I found a new purpose as a Davis Phinney Foundation ambassador and riding with them on Team DPF. It's a cycling group, as well as participating in clinical trials, which has been a significant part of my journey with Parkinson's disease. I was excited to contribute to research and to do something positive with my diagnosis. On July 16th, 2022, I met Diane Stevenson. By happenstance. Diane, her husband Joe, and her sister Stephanie had traveled to Longmont, Colorado to ride in the Davis Phinney Foundation Tour to Victory. After crossing the finish line, we happened to sit next to each other at the post-ride lunch. Not lunch. I did not know who I was chatting away with, sharing my whole life story of while I was doing a Parkinson's fundraising ride. Later that day, our friend Kevin Kwok, who many of you may know, suggested I meet Diane because he saw potential collaboration opportunities. Unbeknownst to me, I had already met Diane. We hit it off, and quickly I was integrated to the CPP Endpoints team and was given an opportunity to share my experiences living with Parkinson's and as a clinical trial participant. This information proved valuable and launched me onto a personal direction I could never have imagined. At the CPATH annual meeting in Washington, D.C., November 2023, alongside a young woman with Alzheimer's disease, we shared our experiences living with the 2 most prevalent brain diseases. The room was filled with preeminent thought leaders from around the world, top neurological researchers and clinicians, the FDA, EMA, neurology industry leaders, top brass from patient advocacy groups such as the Michael J. Fox Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, Parkinson's Association, and more. It was my first time publicly telling my story, living with Parkinson's from diagnosis to participating in clinical trials. The audience's interest was palpable. Many questions were asked, and it was very exciting. Living true to the CPATH mission of patient-centric work, Klaus and the team reworked the afternoon schedule extending our session so that every audience question was answered. It really was cool. It's truly remarkable how opportunities beget opportunities. From that presentation came many more to make a difference with my voice. As I mentioned earlier, the FDA Peripheral and Central Nervous System leadership team was at that annual CPATH meeting. And after my presentation, we were able to establish that I was interested in any opportunity to make a difference. I learned that they had an opening for a member on their advisory committee, applied and was accepted. Next thing I knew, I was attending the AdCom meeting to review the application for donanemab for Alzheimer's, which was subsequently approved for commercial use. Again, I had found myself in a position to be a voice for so many others. Along the way, Diane Stevenson and I were invited to be keynote panelists at the 125th annual meeting of the American Society for Clinical Pharmacology and Therapeutics in March of 2024, sharing with the 2,000 attendees the importance of a meaningful patient-centric clinical endpoint or endpoints and the need for digital biomarkers in Parkinson's trials. The takeaway from our session was that clinical research patients are not participants or partners, that clinical research patients are participants and partners, not just passengers. Before I close, I want to address the exciting work that CPP will soon begin, looking at if and how Parkinson's disease affects women differently. I'm grateful that I live at a time when the focus of research is not only on how we are all the same, but also seeks to understand how a disease like Parkinson's may affect women differently, how a therapeutic treatment response in men and women may differ. This gives me hope that future therapies will best address the specific challenges women live with Parkinson's, women face with living with Parkinson's. My personal mission, oh my gosh, my screen just disappeared. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. My personal mission of living my best today is buoyed by the trust I have in the behind-the-scenes work of the brilliant teams at Critical Path Institute. And I thank you for all you are doing to efficiently and effectively integrate the research, regulatory, clinical, industry, and advocacy communities to bring us the breakthroughs that we so desperately need. I'm looking to a very bright future indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.